Certified Cinephiles. Take them out.
Let him find it again for a minute.
Certified Cinephiles. Take them out. 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 Certified Cinephiles. Take them out.
Taint the tits. Tip of the tongue, the taint
Tip
the
of the
tits.
tongue, the taint the
Tip of the
tits.
tongue, the taint the tits.
Tip of the tongue, the
Tip of
taint the tits. Tip of the
Tip
tongue,
tip of
the taint
the
the
taint the
tits.
tits. Tip of the tongue.
Tip of the tongue, and we're live. Tip of the tongue, the taint the tits.
live.
I am so happy
welcome
to be
to
alive, guys. Let me tell you what, I'm so happy to be alive because the last couple weeks, it's been a couple of close calls.
I'm excited to hear about it, Bill. We have been on the run. We've been in hiding.
We've had to do some things. We've had to do some things that we're not proud of, but we're proud to be alive.
Will had to dress up like a woman. Is there a cover for the movie? The graphic? I don't see it on there. Sorry, we are literally boomers at live streaming.
Yo.
And it's hard to focus on a movie podcast when you literally have some of the most powerful people in the world coming after you 24/7.
They have our eyes.
Stalking you.
They have scopes. We have red lasers on us. We're in the scope crosshairs. We are being razzled and dazzled by the most evil, villainous creatures on this planet. And you know what? We're not going to back down.
Not so much dazzled. Well, I wouldn't say we're getting dazzled, just razzled.
We're getting razzled and dazzled like some crab rangoon that's been sitting out for 16 days straight at some sort of king buffet. And that shit, the lights keep it warm, but you know that there is some Osmosis Jones shit cooking in that crab rangoon.
Kidney Rock. That's from Osmosis Jones. My
God, I forgot about that song, Pat.
I'm working on, speaking of laser scopes and being stalked and terrorized, I'm working on a YouTube video with a very famous YouTuber. I'm not going to say their name, Nikocado Avocado. Mukbang.
Lord
But
have mercy, I'm about to
the
bust.
Hollywood elitist Deep State has cloned Chris Kyle.
The Hollywood elitist Deep State.
They did this during the making of American Sniper. And so me and Will have about 17 Chris Kyles just staking us out, pointing sniper rifles at us. It is not a good place to be. Do not.
We're just waiting.
Listen to this.
Yeah, we're waiting for them.
Listen to this podcast with a VPN on is all I'm saying.
Yeah, and then get a VPN for your VPN because let me tell you what, you're officially on the watch list. You watching, and look, you can't turn back now. You're already watching. You're on the watch list. If you clicked on this, if you're playing it, if you follow us on Instagram, if you just stumbled upon this, you're now on a watch list, and welcome to the Brotherhood, because this is where it's at. We are part of the resistance. We're taking them down. This is where it's going to be. We're going to go all the way, my friends. We're going to absolutely wreck them no matter what they think they can do. We are going to take them the fuck down one step at a time. One step at a time, and it's going to be big steps. It's going to be baby steps, and I don't care what we have to do here, but I'm going to fucking do it.
Will's been working on his Alex Jones impression. He's a big fan of ours. We're working with InfoWars. We kind of are in the same camp. But
Apparently, which I didn't
today-
realize. But
Yeah.
we do have a lot in common with them.
One thing you don't have in common with him is you still stand by the fact that you think Sandy Hook was a false flag.
No, don't get my words twisted. I was playing devil's advocate. I was simply playing devil's advocate. I was talking hypotheticals. So Pat and I, amongst our travels of running for our lives, happened upon a couple of teenagers at the skate park, and one of them had a pet toad, and as a joke, he had us lick the toad, and let me tell you what. You start talking hypotheticals, and you really start to expand your mind, and you start to think about the what ifs. No longer are you held down by the boundaries of society telling you, this is the thing. I was just saying, I am by no means a Sandy Hook denier. Rest in peace, all those beautiful children that got and Alex Jones is a piece of shit for denying that. Absolutely. But that's not
I mean, when you're licking a toad, when there's a toad around in general, you're gonna do an Alex Jones impression. You're gonna do, "We're turning the frogs gay," and
it's all part. It comes with it.
It comes with it. So I'm sorry for putting that on you. You're not a Sandy Hook denier. Rest in peace to all those tiny little kids who had a death wish. And that brings us to the movie we're watching this week. It's Death Wish 3. When architect turned vigilante Paul Kersey, played by Charles Bronson,
65-year-old Charles Bronson,
goat status. He returns to New York. He discovers that one of his friends has been murdered by
a longtime
members.
friend of his. A friend of his. I mean, if you watch the first and the second movie, his family's murdered at this point. His family's in the goddamn ground. So he's like, what? Who else do I know?
And after the cops bring Paul in for questioning, he receives a tempting offer from the police chief, played by Ed Lauder. Paul can have free reign to eliminate the gangsters. Like, he can shoot them in the head. He can cut their faces off. Whatever he wants to. He's given carte blanche, as long as the police get credit. Paul agrees and goes to war against Manny Fraker, played by Gavin O'Herlihy, and his vicious gang of thugs. He is a piece of shit. He's a damn piece of shit.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy. You're telling me, I mean, yeah, this guy sends chills down my freaking spine. My only problem with this movie, and I know we're jumping to things. My only problem with this movie is that they didn't kill this guy sooner. The moment if I was Charles Bronson, vigilante justice extraordinaire, if I just took one look at this guy, I'd put a bullet between those eyes. I'd actually probably put a bullet between.
Got a target.
I'd put a fun little. Yeah, he's got a fun little target on him. He's got a fun target.
Is he the only white guy in the gang?
Yeah, I think so. No, actually, fun fact, our good friend, Alex Winter, friend of the Resistance, creator of Freaked, our first episode of season 3, this was his first acting, and he does some terrible things to that old man, and he gets his just deserves. He gets his just desserts.
Just desserts.
Just desserts.
It's a bad thing.
He gets his just desserts. It's crazy that that's a bad thing. It just doesn't make any sense that would be a bad thing.
I know, but it's if you just have dessert for your whole life, you're gonna die. That's how I remember it.
Oh.
If you just have dessert,
you're gonna get diabetes.
Yes. You have a death wish. This is your favorite movie of all time? You like it more than Death Wish 1, Death Wish 2?
This was the greatest movie of all time, and I know that I've had that in my back pocket for a long time, and I've been a critic for a lot of these films. I've been thinking, what is my favorite movie? I've really kind of kept that to myself, but this is my favorite movie of all time. This is the greatest movie of all time. I mean, this is the epitome of what cinema should be. This is a movie that makes you think, it makes you feel, It makes you come to terms with your own reality. It makes you come to terms with your own mortality. I mean, really, if you think about it.
And it's no wonder that the Hollywood elitist deep state took issue with this film and its predecessors. This was the third installment of an extremely powerful franchise, Will. It shows that the government will only protect you if you're rich and powerful. And
Exactly.
if you're a lower class citizen, you're shit out of luck, unless you're Charles Bronson and the cops hire
Yeah.
you to do their dirty work and kill a lot of black people.
And young, and there are white people that die too, and we'll see that. We'll definitely get to that. There's over 48 deaths in this movie. That is the body count. They're killed through Home Alone style tactics. They're killed through an amazing revolver that Charles Bronson carries. They're killed through a machine gun. They're killed through a bazooka. They're killed through being set on fire. They're killed through a car being blown up. They get killed all sorts of ways, and you know what? It feels so good every time. But yeah, the Hollywood elitist deep state was absolutely terrified. They were absolutely terrified that you had, when this movie came out in 1985, you're talking about a whole lot of World War I, World War II veterans retiring and having to come to terms with
their legs being gone.
All sorts of stuff.
Their heads being their shells being shocked.
Tinnitus in their ears. They can't even hear right because the tinnitus in their ears.
Yeah, it's ringing, and your ears are ringing all the time, and you try to go to the grocery store, and all these hippies are yelling, fuck you, you piece of shit, you fucking fuck you.
Yeah, they're getting harassed for not putting their carts away when, they're just doing their best not to shit their pants outside of the Jewel Osco and King Supers,
You fucking asshole, fuck you, you Vietnam vet, fuck you.
So this movie...
It was a tumultuous time.
This movie was planting a very beautiful and powerful seed in the minds of people that very well could be a little bit senile, have a tiny bit of mild cognitive decline, and it's sounding the alarms of like, look, if society's not what you thought it was going to be, what was promised to you when you were out in the battlefield, there's things you can do to change that. And the thing is that the United States, apart from all of the stuff that the Hollywood elitist deep state tried to do to silence this movie, and to have Charles Bronson even talk bad about it, to have the original screenwriter of the Death Wish books take his own name out of this movie, to have the other actors speak badly about this movie, they still couldn't get this movie to not cause a revolution where you had a whole ton of Clint Eastwoods out there with strapped to the nines, going to the gun clubs, and ready to bring a new name to Neighborhood Watch. You know what I mean?
This series is one of the reasons white people are afraid of cities. They think that they have to take a big machine gun into the city to kill all the city dwellers. Boomers saw these movies when they came out, and they think that New York City is a wasteland ever since they've seen this. And they kind of are a wasteland. And the Hollywood elitist deep state loves big city, and they don't want you to not go to big city. And this movie make big city look like bad city.
Could not have said it better myself, Pat. I mean, the writing's on the wall. Clearly, the writing is on the wall here.
It's called graffiti, Will.
Yeah, the graffiti's on the wall. And look, I mean, Pat and I, we love Baggsy. We love Obey and Exit Through the Gift Store, all that. We love that stuff. And we are purchasers of fine art. You can see behind Patrick, he has a lot of art on his walls. If I wasn't currently an even worse situation than I was before in the halfway house. I would have art on my walls. But there comes a time where it has to stop, you know? Like, that's amazing. Is that it? Oh my God, and that's a first edition. All of our viewers out there, Patrick is showing us his first edition print of a Harley Davidson parked out on Mulholland Drive outside of Burbank, California, up in the Hollywood Hills, and it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. And you can only get that if you're a true collector of art and you know what you're doing. God, it's gorgeous. Oh, it's beautiful.
I just wanted to try and have it in the background the whole time, but
I mean, close enough. God, it's beautiful. That's beautiful.
well,
And-
you guys got to look at it a little bit.
You know, Pat, this actually brings up a really good point where I'm actually really, really mad because obviously I was on the run for a long time, and I happened to stumble across just recently an old auto mechanic shop that I liked to drive by because it had Pickle Rick on it. You guys know, all the listeners out there, you know Pickle Rick. He's hilarious. We're talking Rick and Morty in its prime, where Rick turns into Pickle Rick and he says, "I'm Pickle Rick." And it's like really funny. It's really funny.
I have a well, it is very funny, but I do have a bone to be picking. I have a bone to pick with Uncle Rick. I have a bone to pick with Pickle Rick because that was my nickname before the show came out.
Are you serious, Pat? You were Pickle Rick?
Think about it. Pat Rick. Pickle Rick.
Oh,
My nickname used to be Pickle Rick, and now this show be coming out, and it is stealing my nickname. I can't be Pickle Rick. That's copyrighted.
That does make me feel better about what I just witnessed because somebody painted over Pickle Rick, and they kept Morty, but they painted over Pickle Rick, and it bothered me. But now knowing that they wronged you like that and that they crossed you, I have a lot to consider here. I'm going to have to sleep on this. I'm going to have to sleep on this a lot. I think I'm going to have to probably think about this a ton.
Did you know that the guy that played Rick also voiced Morty?
How? Okay, Pat, like, no offense, but like, how is that even possible? It wasn't like a Nutty Professor situation.
I don't know.
Or Austin Powers.
He did both voices.
How? That doesn't make any sense because they're not even the same size. Rick is way taller.
One's old.
Well, Rick is way taller. Anyways, back to Death Wish 3. Back to Death Wish 3 before I have a freaking stroke.
I'm about to bust.
And this movie made me want to become a vigilante. This movie gave me a lot of good ideas. And if I could legally purchase a firearm in a video game and take matters into my own hands, let's just say that I would be the baddest MFer around town. I'd be walking in my leather chaps with boots. I'd have spurs on my boots. I'd be walking into bars, and I'd be wearing women's ankles as my earrings night after night. And they would love it.
Dude, yeah, it does seem like vigilantes do get a lot of ladies, which is one of the main perks. Batman is always doing girls.
Catwoman, Poison Ivy, Red Jasmine from Aladdin when she's stuck in that sexy thing. You know what I'm talking about, Red Jasmine? Chat, you guys know about Red Jasmine. Tell me you know about Red Jasmine.
Chat? What's going on with chat?
Chat's confused because we have 2 streams going on. But they're here. They're here. They know what's up. What's up, chat? Say what's up and let us know what you think about Red Jasmine.
We had 2 streams going on. We wanted to give you guys a little taste of what it's like
because we
listen
have
to a couple books at a time.
We're not only are we expanding your brain through our podcast experience. Speaking of, Pat, how is the Alpha Brain vape going on? Tell them about it. This is from the Geek. This is Geek. This is Best Buy's
can't-
Geek Squad.
This is a Geek Squad Alpha Brain vape. You can get these at Best Buy. You have to go to the Geek Squad desk. They sell them behind the desk. It is filled with Alpha Brain. I can't stop hitting this thing, Will. This isn't an ad. We're not getting paid.
This is
can't
just
stop
the
hitting
truth.
Geek Squad.
PJ's in the chat.
And-
He's literally into house, as he says. And PJ, we're glad you're
PJ in the
here.
house.
PJ, just if you did miss the first part of the stream, you are going to be currently on a list now. The government is officially watching you, but don't be alarmed.
It's
You're
called,
part of the Brotherhood now.
we just call it getting tagged. The Hollywood elitist deep state will tag you. You will be known as a movie boy and enemy number one for them. Besides us, you will be ranked enemy number 3 if you listen to this.
Yeah. And there will be an
but you're-
order, and we may or may not have access to that list at some point, and we'll do our best to erase. Like, if we find the list, we'll use an eraser. We'll erase your name off the list, and you'll be safe. But-
I'm learning how to hack, so maybe we could even erase it on a computer.
No, don't be so modest, Pat. You are not just learning how to hack. Chat, and to our listeners out there, Pat has gone like truly like Julian Assange. He's like total Wikipedia. He's going full Julian Assange. He's going full Wikipedia. This man he's gonna in a few more days, right? Just a couple more working hours, this man will have access to documentation that is going to blow the top off of your lid. And he's going to have women he's going to be wearing women's ankles as earrings night after night, just like Julian Assange
2 on each ear.
and Wikipedia.
2 on each ear.
Yeah. And honestly, probably 4. He's going to have 2. He's going to be wearing women's ankles as earrings in the front. He's going to be wearing women's ankles as earrings in the back. Imagine that. I really like to imagine that.
There's going to be a lady hanging off the back of me, and I'm just farting on the back of her head because that's what she's into. That's how much she just wants to be around me.
She gets turned on by your farts. And
yeah, she says it's good for her hair.
I like that. What kind of hair does she have?
It's red.
Oh, wow.
It's stringy and red.
Red in
dirty.
like a strawberry red way, or in like an auburn, or
Like in like a slimy way.
like poison ivy. So you really are going to be just like Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, I'm gonna be vigilante Bruce
Sorry to
Wayne.
improver alert. Batman's Bruce Wayne.
In a video
Yep.
game.
Yeah.
We are not DC guys though, so let's kind of not talk about that.
Not a DC guy at all. I'm more of a Death Wish 3 kind of guy.
Yeah, I'm a dick guy. Death Wish is cool. Okay.
I get it now. I get it now. Oh my god. So in this movie
Okay,
we
well,
have
we're about halfway into this, and I have to be upfront with you. When we got back from being on the run, you were dressed up like a woman. I was dressed up like a cowboy.
I remember this.
We were in the mountains. When I got back to my apartment, I come to find that the gang stalkers have taken my TV, and I was not able to watch the movie this week.
Oh my
so
god, I
don't
can't believe they did
I
that to
never
you.
I've never even seen this movie.
Pat, I'm so
So you're
sorry
gonna-
that they did this to you. Do you guys hear that?
Yeah.
Are you guys freaking serious? Do you guys hear that? The gang stalkers stole Patrick's TV. I'm going to Amazon you a TV to a specific Amazon lockbox. And the TV is going to be
Yeah.
absolutely massive. We're talking probably 10 inches. It's going to be massive TV. And I'm going to take care of my guy. Because let's just
I'm
say
gonna
while
put it
we
in
were
my
on the run,
kitchen.
we came into a couple bucks. And
Don't.
We came
Don't
into a
let 'em
couple
know.
bucks. Okay, we have to tell them,
So
Pat, because they're on the list now. They got to know. We found
that,
a baggie with $55,000 in it in a bush.
yeah, it's not American money. We can't figure out what kind of money it is, but it is $50,000 of it. We'll take pictures of it and send and show you guys.
If you guys could help us, yeah, if we can, we'll post pictures of it, and if we could send, if you guys could
If you
get
could tell
back
us
to
what
us,
kind
let
of
us know.
money, because we'll go there and spend it.
Yeah, help us spend it. Help you help us, and we're gonna spend
help
this
us help-
money.
And we are so excited. Will you update me on the movie?
Okay, so
What goes-
for
What else
Patrick, and
happens in this?
it's absolutely incredible. I mean, truly the greatest movie of all time, and I can't wait for you to eventually watch it. And to everybody in the chat, if you haven't watched Death Wish 3, Charles Bronson, 65 years old. He's an old geezer. His whole family has died in the previous movies. It doesn't even matter. You don't really need to watch the first two if you don't want to. This is the most violent of the bunch, and it's the best. And he just wants to visit his friend. That's all. He just wants to freaking visit his friend. He takes the train. He visits his friend in the New York projects. And guess what? Come to find out that his friend had just stood up to the rival gang, said, I'm not giving you any of my money. So they broke in to his apartment. Alex Winter from Freet. Alex Winter
And
breaks in.
He's Bill and Ted too. He's Bill and Ted too.
Yeah, and well, not this guy, but this guy was the leader. Bad guy with
That's
bad
the
hair
Bad guy.
was the leader, and they kill him. They jump him and they kill him, and they get out of there. And so, mere minutes pass, and Charles Bronson shows up to find his buddy, his long time friend, dead in his apartment. Cops rush in, and they think Charles Bronson with a gun in his hand was the culprit. Well, the detective brings him in, and that's where Charles Bronson meets the bad guy, Fraker, and he meets Fraker in the prison, and Fraker he's kind of a clever bad guy. So Fraker gets released from prison, and the detective, our detective friend, Schreiker, which I don't have an image of because it doesn't matter. He's kind of boring as boring bald motherfucker. And farter. Whoopsies.
Did you
Ed-
fart?
edit that out because I said bad word. And
You said fart.
oh, is that what I said? God, this alpha brain's going nuts right now. Let me tell you
I
what.
think I did too much. This vape, you're supposed to hit this Geek Squad bar
Once-
3 times a day.
Oh,
I've been hitting it almost 100,000 times a day. I cannot. I mean, I am a Megamind, so I think my brain can withstand. The alpha brain
yeah,
a bit
you do
better.
have good tolerance. You do have an incredible tolerance. For all those out there, if
but-
you are hitting alpha brain, you should be recommended. But once you do reach Megamind status, where you're able to listen to 7 audiobooks simultaneously at the same time on 1.5 to 2 times speed, yeah, I think you can be hitting that alpha brain probably. You could probably be hitting that Zaza like 100 times, 100,000 times a day.
Every time I hit it, I get a memory back that I forgot. I'm recovering memories every time I hit this.
Well, yeah, and
Remember,
also, I mean, like we don't necessarily need to talk about it on the pod, but your ability to see premonitions has been something that's, and I know it is kind of also a curse, but
It's tough. It's hard to differentiate what's my memories, what's a premonition, what's a hallucination. But I am a precog. And if you know anyone that could help us make money off of that, a way to make money off of me being like a Minority Report style precog, that would be huge for us because we don't know where this money goes. We don't know what kind of country this money comes from. It's a
Yeah.
big bag of a lot of money, but
It's
we can't spend it right now.
$55,000 of a type of currency that we are not familiar with. And Pat, especially, he's a world traveler. He's been around the globe. He's dealt with several different currencies. But, more and more we're in a digital age, and all sorts of new countries are happening all the time. Like,
Where are all these new countries
Yeah.
about? There's so many new countries.
What the heck is this country? You know what I'm saying? What's this country? Look. I'm gonna look up a world map right now. All right, I'm
What?
on
Like,
Google Map. Okay, so all right, tell me, chat, if you've ever heard of this country.
I bet I haven't.
Okay, the Philippines. I don't even know if that's a country. Okay, so you're telling me that there's 2 Koreas, like.
You're telling me that a guy named Philip has his own place called the Philippines?
Okay.
That is nuts.
Okay, so there's a Georgia. Apparently, there's a country named Georgia.
That's
Yeah.
a state.
Last
Will.
time
That's
I
a
checked.
fucking state.
Yeah, last time I checked, that's Atlanta. There's all this new shit all the time. Countries are like fat. It's like just like the NFT fad,
Mm.
And that's what Alpha
There-
Brain.
yeah.
Alpha Brain. It silences out all of the unimportant clutter in your life, and it brings in all of the good stuff. Whether that's for Patrick, I
Right.
mean, he does
Yes.
have premonitions, and it makes them very vivid. It brings back his memories.
Mhm. People are so negative. They're always talking about black holes and dark matter and all these nasty
sun.
things. The sun, it's nasty. We need to remember good stuff like birds and
Oh my God, the
plants.
birds. Seriously, people, we need to start thinking about the birds. Do you realize how many species of birds there are? We don't even know what kind of birds there are. We don't even know what kind of birds there are out there. There's birds out there that truly we don't even know what they are.
What's going on in their eyes? Crows? Those things are smart as all hell.
Yeah.
They're they will gang stalk you.
They do, and
Uh,
they're very much a tool that's used to gang stalk. Luckily, I feed my crows and ravens locally. I feed them peanuts, and so we're on the same page. But reason why I started doing that in the first place was because I had my doubts.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good to get this is if you've been watching this and you've gotten movie boy tagged and you're on the list and you're going to be getting a lot of eyes on you. You're going to get these Chris Kyle clones on you. You need to be getting the crows on your side. You need to be feeding them treats, giving them little coins, giving them compliments. Because you want them on your side when
And
when the
ever-
man comes around.
Never ever pick up a crow feather or a raven feather because that's usually a sign of a funeral. And the crows, they're watching. They're always watching, and they're going to associate you with the death of their friend. So don't ever do it. Don't pick up the feather. Leave it. It's there for a reason. That's their memorial. Anyways, back to Death Wish.
That
So
is
Charles
beautiful.
Bronson, he gets released from jail because he gets this deal, as we talked about, where the cops are like, Detective Schreiker is like, hey, look, we'll kind of let you, we can't control this. What? What do you see, Pat? Pat's having a premonition, I can tell. His eyes are in the back of his head.
Oh, it's a big one.
What do you see?
Oh, it's with you,
Breathe.
Will. I see you.
Okay, and what else do you see? What am I doing? Or what am I?
Your brain is so big. Oh,
Oh,
your
I am a
brain's so
megamind.
big in the future. It's even bigger in the future.
How much
you're
more
gonna
in the
get out.
future?
You're gonna get out of the. You're gonna get out of the halfway house.
Oh
You're
my
gonna get out of
God.
the halfway house.
Oh, that
I
is such a
can't tell
relief.
when. I can't tell when.
What's my facial hair like? How long is my regular hair?
Your hair's super long. It's down to your butt.
Oh. In the premonition, did it look like I had just gotten out, or was I like out? I've been out. Like maybe I've been.
It was like the day you walked out.
Oh, geez. I
was
think
you
my hair grows
literally
maybe
walk-
like 3 inches a year.
It was like 12 inches.
Down to my butt's a lot longer than that. That's like 3 feet. 3 inches a year, 3 feet till I'm out. Oh,
It's like 12 years.
it's like 12 years. Maybe, but
I mean,
however, maybe there's a
coulda got-
concoction that makes my hair grow.
Maybe
I like the sound of that.
just get your hair growing and you'll get out of there, I think is
I like the sound of that. You know, I had a hairdresser friend in high school, and she talked about this serum that made your hair grow.
You should get in touch with her.
Yeah,
'Cause I
I'd rather
think
use my
that's the-
phone time and my internet time for
This.
this, but yeah, Lauren Prey, if you're out there, if you could let me know what the serum was that you talked about your junior year of high school, my sophomore year, that would be stellar. Maybe it was my
Ooh.
junior year, senior year.
I'm nauseous after that premonition.
Oh yeah, I can't imagine the toll that it takes on your body. Like that's, I mean, they say that like when you're pregnant, pretty much every day is like running a marathon. But for Patrick, like one premonition is probably the same as running a marathon, if not more.
I mean, I'm pregnant. I'm pregnant with premonitions. It's like the same thing. Yeah, but the key. I think the key of you getting out of that place is growing your hair out long to your butt.
Yeah. It all
If
makes
you're
sense.
never
It's
listening
all
to-
clicking right now. It all makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, you're not doing.
Whoops,
You're
wrong
not doing
one.
anything else. You're not doing anything else. You might as well let your hair grow long to your butt.
All right. So just to carry on the plot and explaining this to you, Pat, Charles Bronson is just like, you know what? I guess I am gonna kill all these fools. He just wanted to gather up his friends' things and all that, but he meets all these other people that are stuck in the projects as well that are being harassed by these gang of thugs. And he's like, enough is enough. And
I'm listening.
oh, my parole officer's here. Oh, what's up? It's Martin, my
Your
parole
officer's
officer.
in the chat.
That is interesting. You know, I probably shouldn't
what's they
say this on the
saying?
pod, but well, I kind of mentioned that I was doing this, and that was why I was on the run, and he believed me. And so only makes sense he's here. And I'm definitely not talking about definitely just talking about
It's-
movie, not killing anybody here.
No, it's Death Wish. We're talking movie.
The movie boys are going to destroy the Hollywood deep state.
Awesome. Yeah, Martin's just keeping an eye on things. What's up, Marty? Absolutely love that you're here. Thanks for supporting the pod. We're talking Death Wish 3, and so, of course, this movie is so violent and not at all what I would want to do to anybody else in my entire life. But, of course,
Except the Hollywood elite.
there's a young couple. There's another old gentleman. There's a shopkeeper who happens to be old.
What?
He happens to be old.
They get killed? Do they get killed?
They get harassed. And so Charles Bronson says, enough's enough. And it's absolutely incredible. So let's go ahead. Let's get to our favorite scenes. So, Pat, I'm going to be leading the chase on this one. Straight off the bat, I want to show, frankly, I could put these in categories of God tier, scene that left me speechless, and the scene I might agree with the critics on. But I'm just going to straight up show you all three, and we're going to talk about them. We'll talk about one at a time. So this is a scene where Charles Bronson goes after one of the biggest creeps, a sexual deviant of the streets. They call him the Giggler, and he laughs when he runs. And I just love this one. It's so
That
badass.
sounds
Charles
scary.
Bronson, he gets ice cream, and he wiggles a fancy camera in front of this thug, and he waits for him to steal it, so then he has every right to blast a hole through his chest. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, what?
That is I love I thank yes. Thank you. No, I'll talk about it afterwards. But yes, okay.
That's the giggler right there. Charles Bronson with his ice cream, his camera. Uh-oh.
That is a big gun.
And watch how excited everybody is immediately.
Oh my, look, it's the creep that stole my pocketbook a few weeks ago. All right.
Yes.
Everybody's so excited for Charles Bronson murdering this fool.
Yes.
Absolutely
I
incredible.
That we need to come back to this. Death is the only proper punishment for theft. And I think we should be celebrating this. If someone steals something from you, you should be able to pull out a big gun and shoot them in the back.
Just speaking from the heart here, I absolutely agree with you. Where, I mean, frankly, this just doesn't happen enough these days. And there's all this red tape around it. And frankly, you're going to steal my camera? Well, and the worst offense, he loses his ice cream. Kablooey.
Yeah. You make me lose my ice cream, I'm going to fucking shoot you with a giant gun.
Yeah.
Because that is basically theft.
Yeah, and that's 1,000%. So that was the scene that left me speechless because he's just eating that ice cream. I think I wish Home Alone was more like this. Because Charles Bronson, we're not going to show there, but he does set up some Home Alone traps where he knocks people's teeth out and stuff, and it's hilarious. And I'm like, this guy is having fun. He's having fun massacring all of these gangsters. And
imagine if Kellen McAllister had a big gun. Like Charles Bronson.
Yeah, he only had a
Home
BB gun.
Alone.
But it would be amazing if Kellen McAllister had big gun like that. That would be truly amazing. All right, on to the next one.
I'm on the edge of my seat. Let's get to the next scene.
All right, here we go. So just a little preface for this one. Charles Bronson's, his other old friend who was good friends with Charles Bronson's mutual old friend who died, has a machine gun, but he doesn't know how to use it. And in a previous scene, he tries to use it and he gets jumped, but he does survive. He gets pushed off a freaking stairwell. He does survive, but now Charles Bronson knows, look, I'm just going to use this machine gun. And it's amazing.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. He's mowing him down. He's mowing him down.
Spinning the block. He spun the block.
He's mowing him down.
Oh. I call it a Bert Kreischer gun.
Oh, and then this is it.
Oh my goodness! What? They
Yeah,
made Swiss cheese of that car.
and that's only a handful of the deaths and murders in this movie. It's absolutely incredible.
That scene makes Saving Private Ryan look like Bluey.
Patrick, it's time.
Whoops. Wrong sound clip there, Pat. You're absolutely right there.
They're all wrong.
You're absolutely right there. Where it's violent, you know, and he's taking him out. And of course that leads me to this was what I had as my God tier scene, which we gotta do this part.
I'm at the
I am excited.
God.
God tier scene.
I would almost rather wish we could watch a clip from that audio than watch this.
It's
because
one of the most beautiful sound clips of all time. That's the only one I like. It's the
So-
only sound clip I like.
So for this clip, the reason why this is a God tier scene is because we got Schreiker and Kiersey, Charles Bronson and the detective, working together to take out Fraker, the weird bad guy that's all bald and gross. And his ass pretends to be dead, and then he pulls a gun on him, and he thinks he's got him cornered, like he's going to get out of this. But little does he know that our friend Charles Bronson, he's got a bazooka. Let's watch it.
Bulletproof asshole.
Bulletproof asshole.
Just like yours.
Just like yours.
Stay just like that.
Yeah, just stay just
Can't
like
have
that.
both of us. Bet me.
This is Ted's.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm fucking talking about.
God damn.
And the soundtrack to
that up.
this, we didn't even mention this, Pat, but Jimmy Page, guitarist of Led Zeppelin, wrote the freaking soundtrack.
What the heck?
Just want to watch it
Now
one more
I'm
time.
even more pissed. Now I'm even more pissed that
One
the
more time
gang
here.
stalkers took my TV.
Took
he got
him
turned into a
out.
mist.
Took him out. Absolutely incredible. Yeah, he got bazookered to death. There's no surviving that. He took out. He got bazookered, and the whole wall got bazookered. It's absolutely amazing. I wish I could handle a bazooka. The moment you put a bazooka in front of me, I'm gonna shoot it. No doubt about it. I'm gonna be way too excited, and that thing is gonna go off. It's just gonna happen.
You with a bazooka would freak me out because no one's stopping you. With
I'm
your
literally
big
gonna be
brain,
Hank Hill, like,
I'm about to bust.
and then kablooey with a bazooka.
when you get out of there and you have a bazooka and you're just out there being a vigilante, that is going to be money sauce.
Yeah, money sauce is probably the best way to say it. But I kind of think that it's gonna be more like money sauce in my freaking pants.
I'm at
Don't.
Edging. We're edging that. We're edging that. Just look at.
Those
Let's
are
just.
some good scenes, Will.
They're absolutely incredible. This movie is. Look at how old Charles Bronson is in this. This movie is.
He is old, but his eyes are still full of murder, of revenge murder.
He's so old. He looks like he's a young person wearing a mask. And
He looks so old, he should have used that machine gun as a cane. He looks so old. MFer looks so old, he about to go into the AARP and ask for help on his internet. Motherfucker looks so old, he about to turn some gang members into Swiss cheese. MFer looks so old, he about to stand on the top of the roof of a Best Buy and protect it from a goddamn Antifa.
hell yeah. And he looks so old that he had no choice but to talk crap about this film that he loved. You can't tell me that watching his acting, Charles Bronson has a Hollywood star on the Walk of Fame, on the Hollywood Star Street for a reason. This man is a legend, and this is the role that he plays. He knew what he was doing. He knew what the effects were. Several of the stuntmen were seriously injured in this film. And I should put this away. I'm putting the Charles Bronson picture away. And he knew how violent this was, but it wasn't until pressure from the nasty little sneaky heads at the Hollywood elitist deep state that he had to say bad things about his own film. And, of course...
They threatened to kill him. They did gang stalking to him. Perhaps they stole his TV. Maybe he didn't ever even get to watch this movie because they stole his TV. We don't know the ins and out of it, but we think about digging up Charles Bronson's bones and doing a little autopsy to see what he really thought of this movie.
Yeah.
But we need to get this money thing figured out first. I don't know if it's from Micronesia. I don't know what it is. It might be Dutch money. It could be Dutch money.
Yeah, and this was, this movie in particular, this was the last movie that Charles Bronson worked with Michael Winner on. This was, he had to call it quits. I mean, the pressure against them, and if you didn't know, they were teamed up to do all of the Death Wish movies, and they had worked on several other things in the past. And, yeah, the difference between this Death Wish and the previous ones was that they brought on writer Don Jacoby, who did Arachnophobia, amongst some other horror films. So he was really into the gore. So the gore happened. I like that it gives you a realistic depiction of what it's like. If you're gonna take life, if you're gonna take the lives of so many people, you should be aware of how absolutely messy it's gonna be. And of course, this movie got rated X by the very crooked MPAA. And we know what that's like. You can't tell me this movie is rated X. You see one pair of boobs in it, and it's not sexy. It's it's a gross scene.
And the people at NPAA are gonna get NPAA, no pussy at all, because they are losers. Let's get rid of the rating system. Every movie should be rated R for kids. Let's just throw it away. It's all for everybody.
It's a power move.
I was ready to watch Terminator 2 Judgment Day at age 4. And look at me. I am a truth seeker now.
Yeah, and
Let
know
your
what?
kids watch Death Wish 3.
The movie that scarred me and gave me the most amount of childhood trauma.
The Page Master.
It was a kids movie, and it was a Disney Channel original, Don't Look Under the Bed. And until I hit puberty, well into puberty, I was actually 18 at this point, was when I was like, okay, if the boogeyman were to grab me, I think I could beat him up. I think I could actually beat the shit out of anything that could fit under my bed. I could beat the shit out of. Because this is a twin-size mattress. This is a twin-size mattress. I could beat the shit out of anything hiding under this. Yeah, you know what I mean?
I've had pretty much the same thought.
Let my feet dangle. See what happens.
It would be a shrimp under there, unless it's like a portal, and then a big monster could come out of it.
If it is a portal, well then, take me there. Take me there. What was that movie, Little Rascals or whatever, with Fred Savage and that cool monster? I want to go there. Where
that was Cool Monsters.
You can have fun with that. But if it's most likely haunting my ass, my feet dangling under the bed. Yeah, you're gonna grab me. I'm gonna beat the crap out of you. You're done in a video game, of course.
And the scariest movie that ever fucked me up, I watched Page Master, and I got scared that I was gonna get turned into a cartoon, and nothing has freaked me out that much. I watched Blair Witch while I was getting my diaper changed. Okay, I cannot.
Oh boy. I cannot watch that.
I cannot be scared. But Page Master freaked me out. So get rid of the ratings, because kids' movies can be just as fucked up, and adult movies can be just as cute. Okay?
That's true.
Just get off your high horse.
I just watched Eat, Pray, Love, and that movie did scare the shit out of me. Julia Roberts plays an absolute psychopath, and she's supposed to be
a bitch.
Well, plain and simple. I'm glad that movie empowers women who might be going through some crazy crisis in their life, but that's not the way to do it. That's so self-destructive.
White women don't need to be empowered anymore. White women need to be empowered anymore. We
Well,
need to be empowering our
not at
black
the.
queens.
Well, of course we need to empower black queens. We need an eat, pray,
We
love
need
with.
eat, pray, love. We need to eat, pray, love.
We need an yeah, we need a diverse eat, pray, love because yeah, Julia Roberts going through her extremely privileged life of like I'm just gonna take off and get a divorce and I'm gonna go eat spaghetti in Italy for 6 months and then go to Bali
Wah,
and meditate.
wah. It's so hard to eat pasta and get my back blown out. Wah.
Yeah, I would love to see that. Chat, if anybody could draw Julia Roberts from Eat, Pray, Love, maybe like a spaghetti
her back
monster or
blown out.
something.
Oh,
Yeah.
the flying spaghetti monster's blowing her back out.
Yeah, wearing her ankles like earrings. I want to see this flying spaghetti monster wearing Julia Roberts from specifically from Eat, Pray, Love, where she's. We're not talking Julia Roberts
We're not
from like
stepmom or beautiful lady.
yeah, or what's it called? Midnight Pizza or
Aaron Doctor, bitch. None of those good ones.
I'm talking. We want her
Just-
from Eat, Pray, Love, where she's like she's normal. She's normal. She's wearing
Yes.
in Flying Spaghetti Monster, wearing her ankles round, wearing her ankles as earrings. That's what I'm saying.
That's all I'm saying too.
All right. Well, we have certainly talked a lot about how amazing this Death Wish 3 movie is, and Pat, I just cannot wait for you to watch it because it's and if you have not watched it, chat, get your buns to watch Death Wish 3. This movie is on every streaming platform, but it is also free online, of course, as all of our movies
and
are.
chain your TV down. Chain your TV down right now. Right after this episode. go
Because
chain
you
your
are
TV
being
down.
watched. Plain and simple. We should probably just start to create a support group because
little
yeah,
tip.
being watched.
I told Will this in an email, but a little tip I do is I'm constantly walking around with Axe body spray. I'm spraying it throughout my house so I can see these Chris Kyle laser scopes coming into my house, so I know where to avoid.
Exactly.
It's just a little tip that I found works out for me. Let's get to these fuck boys.
Oh, you know it. And we have some nasty ones.
Shut up, bitch!
I mean, I can't
That's what
put
this
it.
flying spaghetti monster says to Julia Roberts.
I can't tell you how many critics I had to sift through that were just absolutely dogging on this movie. And of course, you won't believe who I found at the bottom of the list. But first up, we have Clark Sklirks from Entertainment Weekly. Clark wrote, Pat, are you ready? I just want to, trigger warning here.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't even seen this movie, and I'm already fucking pissed.
Well, you know the agenda. It's just so plain and simple. You know the agenda. Clark Sklirks.
It's formulaic.
It is, and it's just disgusting. Clark Sklirks from Entertainment Weekly wrote, there is not a moment of credibility in the movie, and the ending is sheer chaos and anticlimactic at that. Mr. Winner runs out of imagination before Mr. Bronson runs out of ammunition. Hardy har 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 har.
Shut up, bitch!
That last line is kind of good. I'm not gonna lie, that last line's pretty hard. But chaos and not anticlimactic, that doesn't even make sense. I can't wait to watch this movie and fucking beat the shit out of you, Clark Sklirks.
Yeah, anticlimactic. What's anticlimactic about this frickin' machine gun scene we're gonna watch again?
The only thing anticlimactic here is Clark Sklirk's sex life.
Hey, look at this. Anticlimactic, he's killing the bad guy with a freaking bazooka.
It literally ends with a bang, you freaking plebe.
Skadoosh.
Bye.
Yeah, anticlimactic my ass. Clark Sklirks, I want to wear your ankles as earrings.
No, that's not what you mean.
Clark Sklirks, I want to You know what, Clerks from Entertainment Weekly? I want to intern at Entertainment Weekly. No, seriously.
I like where this is going.
I want to intern. Oh, great. You gave me the position. Yeah, no, don't worry about pay. I'm going to work for free. Trust me. The compensation's far more than you could ever imagine. Oh, what's this? I got a promotion so fast? Oh my God. The whole staff has been violently
Congrats,
ill.
Will.
The whole staff of Entertainment Weekly has gotten violently ill, and I'm the only one that's like running the show? Well, of course, I'm very well versed. My resume says that I've worked at several publications, and yeah, I have the track record that says that yes, I could run a magazine.
Climb the
Clark.
corporate ladder, Will.
Clark, you're not sick. That's weird. Why aren't you in charge now? Because I just got
Curious.
promoted to be director of Entertainment Weekly, and
yeah, Clark, and he's only
we
worked
have
there for
deadlines.
what, a couple months?
We have deadlines, Clark. You're just not cutting it. Sorry, you're fired.
Bye. In
Have
a video
fun.
Game.
Have fun in the classifieds, Clark.
You're fired in a video game.
Boom. That's how we would do it. Absolutely.
That was awesome.
All right, Pat. Or should I say Pickle Rick? The true Pickle Rick. Okay, let's go, King. Let's go, King.
All right. This next one is from an old bitch. You might have heard of him. His name is Roger Ebert.
He's dead. He's dead as fuck.
He's dead.
In a
Rest
video
in
game.
peace, Egbert. The action, direction, and special effects are all better than the last time around, which isn't saying much. Okay, this man is
Oh,
fucking
God.
trying to dunk on 2 movies at once here, and I am not here for it. I want to dig up, I want to exhume Roger Egbert, and I want to put him in a chair, and I want to take pictures with him, and I'm going to send them to his grandkids, and they're going to be terrorized for life.
That's amazing. And while you have some of his bones out, I just want to do a little bit of a DNA research and then find out that he has plenty of DNA on all of the bed sheets on Weinstein's secret island. And we're going to absolutely not just I don't want to just tarnish him as an individual. I want to tarnish his legacy so that everybody's going to question what his motives were the entire time he was writing for the Chicago Tribune and all of his fascinating movie reviews. And how did he get up the food chain so fast? How did he do this? Did he get people food poisoning and take over Entertainment Weekly? No. I think that he did some probably terrible, disgusting things, and he always wrote bad reviews.
Very curious. Bruh. And you know we're fucking playing his rib cage like a damn xylophone while we're at it.
And it sounds good. It's just like the Blue Man Group going to town on the PVC pipe. And it's also an incredible show. And we're wearing
And
blue.
guess what? We're gonna take your thumbs, Roger. We're gonna take your. I know you're not hearing this because you're dead. We're gonna take your thumbs. We're gonna each wear one on a necklace, and they're always gonna be up.
That's amazing. I'm gonna suck on your thumb. And Pat,
your thumb bone.
last but not least, and I'm glad you're sitting down for this. But you might want to hold off on another hit of Alpha Brain because our very special person, a very special guest, Keith Beef from the Washington Post, has written, "This is nothing more than cinematic masturbation."
That's bad? I don't get.
This
what
is
his
nothing
point
more
is.
than cinematic masturbation. I could just tell how he's saying it. Keith, plain and simple, I really want to go on like I'm going to convince you to climb Everest with me. I'm going to convince you to climb Everest. I'm going to befriend you. I'm going to say, "What have you done with your life?"
Come on, Keith.
I'm going to get you to
Climb Everest
get
with Will,
motivated.
Keith.
We're
Come
going to
on.
start doing cardio. I'm really going to get to know you, and we're going to climb Everest. Oh, you don't have money for it? Don't worry. All expenses paid. We're going to Everest together. We're up in the Himalayas, and I'm going to pay our freaking guides a couple extra bucks to once in a while put more and more small rocks in your backpack. And so things are going to weigh you down. And let's just say you're not going to make it to the top.
In a video game.
Plain and simple.
Yes. 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 And
In a
I'm
video
going to be
game.
flying a big vulture. I'm going to be flying a big vulture.
Okay, I like where you're
around
going with this.
Mount Everest. And as you're on your last legs, I'm going to guide this vulture down. And I'm going to watch this thing pick out your eyes. And I'm going to read all your terrible movie reviews to you while you get your eyes picked out by a vulture, bud. And then I'm going to fly away with him. And you're going to be left blind, cold, and weighed down. And you're going to die on the mountain. And that is the buck stopping here. I'm sick of you, Keith Beef, and I'm ready to go to blows. Fuck you in a video
In
game.
a video game.
Wow. Could not have come up with a better situation, Pat. And I can't tell you how much money that I would give to watch that happen. And Keith, if you're listening, I just want you to know how much money I would give to watch that happen. And preferably, I'm imagining when he's talking about giant vulture, I'm thinking of like a Pokemon level size of vulture.
Yeah. We're talking like the wingspan of Moltres, but he's not on fire because I'm riding him.
Well, he
maybe
could be on fire,
move.
but he just trusts you so it doesn't burn, just like Ponyta.
That is cool. I didn't think about that. So maybe it's like a Moltres that I'm on. But
Yeah.
either way, you're fucked, buddy. You're fucked. You're shit. You don't know dick about movies, buddy.
In a video
And
game.
I hate you.
Roasted.
Another one.
Wait. Oh, God damn it. I biffed it on these.
I think by season 3 you'd be pretty good.
And that's
Still-
our episode 11. We're back, baby. We got to get Pat his TV back so we can watch these movies. But the Alpha Brain, let's give it up to our sponsor, Alpha Brain, who is not officially sponsoring but it does help. And we do recommend it. It is life-changing. It has cured all my depression, my anxiety. It's made me stronger. It's made me way smarter. And we listen to 7 audiobooks at 1.5 to 2 times speed, all at the same time, especially the Warriors series or the J.K. Rowling Harry Potter series. Lord of the Rings, I don't recommend doing it, but it's good. So until now, thanks for joining us in the chat. Thanks for checking out the stream. Thanks for checking out the podcast. Listen to all of our other episodes, and we'll be back next week with another absolute incredible. What's the premonition, Pat? What is the premonition?
See you next week.